Welcome to the Grand Prairie Update. I'm Don Johnson.
And I'm Terry Briggs.
Grand Prairie voters will decide one city council seat, 2 school board trustees, and a school bond package when they go to the polls on May 14th. In City Council District 3, incumbent William Thorne is seeking another 3-year term against Billy R. Nash. 2 other council incumbents are running unopposed. Mark Hepworth in Council District 1, Ruthie Jackson in Council District 7 at large. State law only requires holding an election for contested city council races, so only precincts in District 3 will actually be voting for city council. The school district election features only one contested race. Place 1 trustee Tim Johnson faces Steve Pryor. Place 4 trustee John D. Stewart is unopposed. The school district is also seeking approval for a $70 million bond package to finance building maintenance, equipment, and new school buses. For more information about the May 14th election, go to the city's website at gptx.org or call the city secretary at 972-237-8035.
Grand Prairie's 4-year-old minor league baseball team is playing for a new owner. The Air Hogs have been acquired by Southern Independent Baseball, a group led by partners of a Dallas law firm. The deal means SIB now owns 3 teams playing in the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball. The Air Hogs opened their 2011 season at home on Thursday, May 12th. You can buy individual or season tickets in person at the ballpark box office, online at airhogsbaseball.com, or by phone at 972-504-9383.
The Concerts in the Park series kicked it into country last Friday as Shoot Low Sheriff took the stage at the Summit at Central Park.
I get down on my knees and crawl for you.
Coming up this Friday, the sounds of rock from First Rush. For more information about the Concerts in the Park, go online at artsgp.com or call 972-237-8100.
They were having a rain barrel of fun Saturday at Marcus Square in downtown Grand Prairie. The event was the city's latest Make It and Take It rain barrel class. Students learned how to turn a 55-gallon plastic drum into an eco-friendly tool for harvesting rainwater.
I'd like to get it to the point where I could irrigate our whole yard.
It's not only a good environmental thing, this is a good social thing too, a good event for people getting to know each other and what's going on.
That gives us a little more leverage to hold on to it.
Organizers say concern about water conservation is making the class very popular.
So Grand Prairie's been very proactive years ago starting these classes, because once you just start that little rain barrel in your yard, you begin to think about how you use water and you begin to conserve.
For more information about rain barrel classes, go online at gptx.org/publicworks or call 972-237-8154.
This fence is getting to the point where it's going to have to be replaced pretty soon.
In some sense, Grand Prairie's code enforcement officers have been asked to play the role of referee, and many times it's an easy call.
This fence is what I would consider to be a dilapidated fence. The fence is leaning. The fence should be upright and not leaning.
Fences and what you need to know, the subject of this edition of Know the Code.
Deteriorated, missing panels, or leaning, those things constitutes a dilapidated fence.
Obviously, the fence on this property needs immediate attention, so the code enforcement officer will inform the owner about options.
Once we observe a dilapidated fence, our first course of action is to give them a notice. If they're present, we normally will give them a hand notice. We normally give them 10 days to do the repairs to the fence. When you go back and you make repairs or replacing a fence, it needs to be done with like material. Like for instance, the metal poles should be wooden poles.
And actually, there are 3 options when it gets to this point. You can repair it or replace it, but you can also remove it. unless it is what is known as a required fence.
If your home is near a commercial property, it's called a required fence. That means a fence has to be there and maintained. And normally a required fence separating residential property from commercial property, that fence is normally put there by the commercial property owner.
And Reagan says that even when repairing or replacing the fence are the only options, the city is willing to work with you because they're well aware of the cost for repairs or building a new one and the penalties that will come for those who don't.
That penalty is pretty stiff. The price of it is normally set by the courts, and it can be upwards of $200-300 on a citation. And that's why we work with them. I mean, if they're going to say, hey, you know what, Randy, I'll get a fence panel and I'll get this one put up this week and I'll do this one next month, we'll work with you. Times are hard for a lot of people, so we don't mind working with you at all.
If you have questions, you can call the Grand Prairie Code Enforcement Division at 972-237-8296 or log on to the city's website, gptx.org, and follow the links to code enforcement. And now you know the code.
If you want an example of how to make green by being green, just take a look at Monotex in Grand Prairie. This local business is the destination for thousands of obsolete computers, monitors, printers, and other electronic devices. Monotex contracts with cities, companies, and other customers to recycle their electronic waste.
First thing it'll go through is kind of a triage sorting process where we will classify the equipment as to whether it's good for remarketing, reuse, or recycling. The time is anywhere from 7 to 12 days for a truckload of equipment that comes in. By the time it makes its way through the sorting process, through the demanufacturing process, and then all the way to its individual end product.
According to Segovia, about 20 to 25% of the material is refurbished and resold. The rest is shredded or pulverized for scrap.
The biggest change I think we can say that we've had is just the size. The scale of the operation has definitely grown over the years. It started out small as we fine-tuned our process, and we created some efficiencies and some better processing methodologies. Really, that's I think the biggest change that we've had. The process itself has grown. More equipment is coming in the door.
Segovia says the Grand Prairie plant has developed into one of the highest volume e-waste processors in the Southwest. That's good for the company's bottom line, and it's good for the local environment because all of this old technology is staying out of the landfill. That's it for this edition of Grand Prairie Update.
Don't forget you can watch all our Channel 16 programs by going online at gptx.org/GPTV.